Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a deep dive into my reading stats for 2022. I have done separate videos of all the books I've brought in 2022 as well as all the books I've read in 2022 if you want to watch those first and get a rundown of all the bookish things relating to this year before kind of delving into all the stats I'm going to share with you guys. But this is going to be a quickish video. Obviously, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know 2022 hasn't been my reading year. It's been very up and down. I hit many slumps. I didn't read that much and I definitely didn't read that many standouts. So my stats are few and far between, but the things I have recorded I do want to share with you guys. So without further ado, let's hop into it. I am going to record my screen and share with you what my reading kind of Notion page looks like as a kind of end of year update, because I know I showed you my entire Notion right at the beginning of this year. If you want to check it out, I'll link up above and down below. But that would have shown what my reading kind of spreadsheets looked like at the very beginning, and obviously now they're all filled out and colourful, so I thought I would give you a rundown of that as well. About a couple of months ago, I actually added in an additional little section to my Notion. As you can see on the left hand side, I have my end of year TBR, which has been completely scrapped. I probably should just like delete it because it's not gonna happen. Delete them all because I ain't reading anything by the end of this year now. Just putting it out there. I'm moving in 2 days, so no reading's gonna get done now before the end of the year and before I go on holiday. So end of year TBR is scrapped. And then on the right hand side, I do have something that I have enjoyed doing, but obviously because I haven't been reading, I haven't been utilising it. But it's basically a monthly calendar, and then I'll show you a month that I did actually use it. So if you go back to November was a good month. So I kind of plan out when I'm going to read the books. So for example, in November, from November 1st to the 6th, I read In Case of Emergency. I just have the title and if I've managed to read it. And I just kind of plan it out to what videos I want to film and kind of what plans I have, so I can kind of keep track on my reading more. I think this will be really beneficial in the new year, but obviously because I've hit a slump and other things have kind of got in the way of my life, I haven't really utilised it. But I think it's a really good way to kind of keep track of your reading, and because it's on Notion and because it's digital, it's really flexible. So for example, if I ended up reading In Case of Emergency for a further like 2 days, I can then just change it to the 8th. And then it will update on the spreadsheet, because I could do this in my bullet journal, but it would get very messy. So I love doing that when I was actually reading, but I'm not reading at the minute. And then we come on to the really fun things, which are the stats. I have gone through all my book haul for 2022, so I'll link that video up above. But what we're looking at today is the actual books I read and the stats for that. It's a really colourful spreadsheet, and I'm so happy I used all the colours I did. I had a little emoji for every single book I read, which is a really nice addition as well, just kind of adds a little something fun to the spreadsheet. I kept track of this year, I kept track of the title, the author, the page count, the rating I gave it, the month I read it in, the genre, the audience, so YA, middle grade, adult, etc. Whether it was released prior to 2022 or whether it was a new release of 2022, the author identity, the author race, how I acquired it, whether it was an owned book, whether I got it from the library, whether I got it from Scribd, etc. Whether it was own voices, LGBTQ+, diverse, translated, if I was a reread, or whether I unhauled it. So those are all the things I tracked. And I'm just going to quickly run through the stats that I've managed to accumulate through this spreadsheet. It's going to be a very short video because I've only been filming for 5 minutes and I haven't got that much left to show you guys. So let's scroll down right to the bottom. So over the course of 2022, I read 46 books, which I don't think is too bad. It's not my best year, but it's definitely not my worst year. Across those 46 books, I read 15,788 pages. I rated 9 books 5 stars, 5 of those being rereads. Honey Girl, A Man Called Uwe, Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow, Olive and The Black Flamingo were all rereads that I reread and rated 5 stars once again. And the new books I rated 5 stars were The Housebreak Heartshare by Emily Merrill, End of Us by Colin Hoover, The Bride Test by Helen Huan, and How to Fail by Elizabeth Day. My best reading month, to no surprise, was a draw between January and February, where I read 9 books per month. I wish I could get back to that, but with life being back to normal now, and now I actually own a house and I'm going to have to be doing chores and cleaning and cooking and all that sort of fun stuff, I don't think I'll be reading 9 books a month anytime soon, especially while I get back into a routine in a new space, in a new home. But it was a nice time reading 9 books a month. I could read so much back then. Those were the days. My worst reading month was obviously the month I didn't read anything, so May and June really. I started reading back in July. Out of the 46 books I read, 33 of them were adult. I have definitely migrated massively away from YA and middle grade books this year, and I've had a really nice time reading adult fiction, but I do kind of miss the easy reads of YA and middle grade, so maybe in 2023 I can try and kind of pick myself back up into those two kind of age categories. When I hit slumps and I just want something quick, like why would I neglect those two genres when in the past I have really enjoyed them? Yes, I'm getting older, yes, I'm connecting more to adult characters, but it doesn't mean that middle grades and YAs are kind of obsolete to me these days, so maybe in 2023 I can try and get back into those two kind of age categories. And finally, let's just go through the check boxes that I checked. So obviously, as a reminder, the categories that I checked were own voices, LGBTQ, diverse, translated, rereads and unhauls. I read 36% of own voices this year, which I'm really happy with. Obviously, it can always be improved and be better, but I'm definitely happy with the statistic. I read 36% of LGBTQ. Most of the own voices I do read are kind of LGBTQ or diverse voices, whether that is nationality, race or gender kind of identity. And then in diverse, I kind of tracked authors of a different race, nationality or LGBTQ, so this is kind of like a roundup of all, and I read 47% of diverse books, which I was aiming for 50%, and I think 47 is not too bad at all. Obviously, once again, they can always be improved upon, and I'm always kind of aiming to kind of increase that number and increase kind of my awareness of different voices. So basically anything different to how I represent myself in gender, race and nationality. I really tried this year to get into translated fiction, so that was why one of my categories was translated fiction, and 6% of the books I read were translated. I tried in January and February, and then after that I kind of realised that translated fiction isn't for me, especially kind of like Eastern translations, so Japanese especially isn't for me. I think it's a little bit too out there. However, obviously Fredrik Backman is translated from Swedish, and I do really obviously enjoy Fredrik Backman's writing, so I think I just need to find that niche in translated fiction, but I definitely know that Japanese translations aren't kind of for me. I read 19% of rereads, and those rereads were My Daddy and the Rainbow, Honey Girl, A Man Called Uwe, Olive, Black Flamingo, The Kiss Quotient, The Bride Test, I Heart Paris, I Heart Vegas by Lindsay Kelk. Did I say The Black Flamingo? I think I said The Black Flamingo. Olive, I think I said Olive. I'm going down the spreadsheet now. And that's it. So those were all my rereads this year, and I had a brilliant time rereading all those books. And in my unhauled, there is 15% of the books I read this year I unhauled after reading them because I didn't find joy in them, I didn't enjoy them, or I didn't enjoy them as much as I thought I would. So therefore, I have unhauled them and they're no longer in my presence. I'm actually going to quickly, after I get rid of this dead leg, going to go through with you guys and triple check that I haven't unhauled any more, because I have done a clear out of books since packing them all up, because I'm moving, I've packed up all my books. I said it in my last video, not this one. Hence why I'm filming in front of my Christmas tree and not my bookcase, because there are nothing on my bookcase at the minute. And I have done a clear out and unhaul as I was packing up those books. So let's just do a quick check. I've now got rid of The Kiss Quotient and The Heart Principle. I only kind of really enjoyed The Bride Test in that series. I've got rid of the names they gave us, I believe. I've got rid of Yinka, but I think I've already ticked that one off. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I've already ticked that one off. I've got rid of Ace of Spades. I've technically unhauled Where the Crawdads Sing, so I've gifted it back to my auntie. Oh, okay, it's already ticked off. Brilliant. I've got rid of Only on Weekends, but I'm not sure if I've already ticked that off. Yep, but I have also now unhauled You Made a Fool of Death for Your Beauty, so I can tick that one off. I've got rid of Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson. I've already ticked that one off. I've got rid of Adults by Emma Jane Unworth. I've unticked that one already. And that is it. So in total now, I've unhauled 26% of the books I read this year. And I'm very happy with that number. I'm trying to get better with not keeping books just for the sake of it and to create like a massive library. That's not my like dream anymore to have a massive library. My dream is to just have books on my shelves that bring me joy, that were 4 or 5 stars, that I would always reread again, or I want my kids to read in the future. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'm sorry for the lighting, but it's really difficult to get good lighting right now. Comment down below what stats you have to share. I would love to hear some of yours. What's the best book you read this year? And all that fun stuff. And without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.